Could Dark Spyro be involved in some way, shape, or form for the speculated Spyro 4? Let's talk about it.
Whoa!
What's up guys, Canadian Guy here, and back with a brand new Spyro video. The speculation train continues on for what we hope will be a new Spyro 4. The current thought process is that Beanox is handling the current title, as Toys for Bob has recently gone through some restructuring and currently working on Call of Duty. We also know that Beanox has been on a mass hiring spree since the end of 2020, and they haven't stopped. But there is something that I want to talk about that I've been noticing recently. Since 2019, there's been a certain Spyro character that we've been seeing a lot more often. Actually, there's technically two. Let's start back in 2019. As I said, I think it's going to be Beanox that's going to be releasing Spyro 4. Previously, they had released Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. Then, a few months later after release, they announced that Spyro would be joining Crash on the track. But if you look at one of the skins that they added in for Spyro, you'll recognize that it's Dark Spyro. Now, this specific concept of Spyro originated from Spyro Eternal Night, but has been shown off in future games, like Dawn of the Dragon and the Skylander series, both the game and the Netflix show. This take on Dark Spyro is reminiscent of the Skylanders' Dark Spyro in terms of the color thematics, but there's another character that was featured in the Spyro Grand Prix that I want to look at, and that is Gnasty Gnorc. Gnasty is the villain from the very first game, but has had the least impact in terms of being a villain. If anything, Ripto and the Sorceress got a lot more screen time than Gnasty, yet they decided to put him into CTR over the other villains. Now, at first, I initially thought that this likely meant nothing, but as time goes on, I'm beginning to think that I might have been wrong. U2's, a company that sells merch that has signature happy eyes, recently announced they are bringing the Spyro franchise to their store as well. They did a reveal and we found out that there's two figures to the set, Spyro on a skateboard and, again, Gnasty Gnorc. Now again, I know Gnasty was the very first villain in the series, but he had the least impact in terms of the villains, yet he is picked again for merchandise. Now, it would make sense if Spyro was in some sort of a Spyro 1 pose, but with him being on a skateboard, it's clear as crystal that this represents Spyro 3. Now, this still likely meant nothing until we get to this last part. Let's move on to Crash on the Run. Crash on the Run has featured Spyro this month, where the main villains that show up are Dark Spyro and, guess who? Gnasty Gnorc. Now, Spyro has had three main villains, Gnasty Gnorc, Ripto, and the Sorceress, but for some reason, King decides to go with Dark Spyro, someone that Spyro had never faced off with in the original series. Heck, it would make even more sense if they made it Malefor, but they decided on Dark Spyro being Spyro's nemesis, and the fact that Dark Spyro and Spyro are not the same character. They're actually two separate dragons. So my question overall is why? Heck, we even have some dialogue from Spyro himself in the app saying that Spyro chased after Gnasty Gnorc and Dark Spyro through this dark portal, making it sound like Gnasty Gnorc and Dark Spyro are actually in some form of a tag team. Dark Spyro even goes on to say that he is free at last, meaning that he was trapped for some reason. Maybe Gnasty Gnorc is the one who released him. Then, on top of that, we see this portal here that looks like the archways that Spyro would normally go through to go to another world, but it looks like it was corrupted with an evil magic. Maybe this brings in some plot ideas for the upcoming Spyro 4? There's so much to speculate about. But there's one more interesting tidbit that I want to include. Remember how I said we think Beanox is involved with the next Spyro? Well, it turns out that before Crash on the Run was released, the Crash on the Run Twitter page ran a Q&A, where Dendorado asked how the process was for selecting characters and the locations for Crash on the Run. The page responded with, quote, "We played everything we could find, watched hours of playthroughs, and worked closely with Beanox and Toys for Bob and read through a lot of fan sites." So King confirmed here that the team at Crash on the Run did work with Toys for Bob and Beanox. meaning that Beanox could have potentially given input on the Spyro aspect of Crash on the Run if they are developing Spyro 4, hence why we are seeing Dark Spyro and Gnasty Gnorc, who also showed up for Beanox's CTR Nitro Fueled. So here is my speculative statement. Speculative, keyword speculative. It's possible that in the upcoming assumed speculated Spyro 4, the main villains could be a tag team of Gnasty Gnorc and Dark Spyro. Dark Spyro could be a spell that Gnasty Gnorc had cast that basically is a manifestation of his hatred for Spyro. Or maybe Dark Spyro could be Spyro from a different dimension, where his dragon clan conquers other realms. Maybe we could even go into some Spyro backstory, and this is some sort of a twin brother that was sealed away by the dragons due to his dark malevolent magic. The point is, we keep seeing a lot of Dark Spyro and Gnasty Gnorc representation whenever Beanox is involved in some way, shape, or form. And because they are the only logical studio left to handle a Spyro title within the next year or so, I think Spyro 4 might at least include Dark Spyro. But what do you think? Would you like to see Dark Spyro in Spyro 4? Comment below and let me know. Thank you so much to all those who not only support the channel, but myself and my family. Because of your contributions, I'm able to do this full time. If you'd like to support the channel, please consider clicking the join button or becoming a Patreon with the link in the description. I also live stream every Thursday and Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come on by and say hi. Again, thank you to everyone, and I'll see you guys in the next video and or live stream.